Today I want to cover how to add some interactive components to your map, and I'm also going to show you how to publish the Python package on Conda-forge. So we have me using Conda Mamba to install packages, and today I'm going to show you the step how you actually publish that. So the differences between PyPI and Conda-forge is PyPI is pretty much you have the full control. Conda-forge basically have the security control, so you need to have your package accepted first before you can update your package. So, and usually you want to have the packages available on both platforms. So for PyPI, you have full control, but you might have some like everyone can publish on that. But for Conda-forge, not everyone. So you need to go through the step to be able to publish. The nice thing about Conda-forge that is some of the packages are so-called pre-compiled, pre-built, so it's much easier to get the packages installed on multiple platforms compared to using PyPI. So PyPI, for the operating system, you need to have the so-called compiler. Sometimes you need to have C++, you need to have some of those compiler. It's not available on every platform. And especially you are doing geospatial stuff, a lot of packages you just cannot install using pip. Okay, I want you to know that. You probably encounter some of those, for example, GDAL, raster IO, some of those packages because it depends on C and it's just not possible. But for Conda-forge, it works just fine because it's a package manager. It already have those things, heavy lifting things for you. So you don't have to worry about it. It most likely you can install just fine. So it makes it much easier to install packages across platform. Understand? So it's much better, but it's a little bit more difficult because not everyone can publish. You need to go through the steps. So you need to get into the door first. You need to be admitted first before you can do something. So today I want to show you how to do that, and I'm also going to show you how you can update your package. You can make it really automatic. So it's very minimal maintenance work that you need to do, but it's a fantastic way to make your package available. And also if you're developing a good package, people want to use it in different applications. They can also use it as a dependency to do that. So we're going to go through the step. So for lab 9, I posted on the website here, but I haven't posted on Canvas yet. So you can take a look at here. Lab 9 is pretty straightforward. So we only have 2 questions. Publish a package. So this one should only take you maybe roughly 5 minutes. The first question, how to publish it, maybe 10 minutes, okay? And the second one is to add a drop-down list to your map that allow users to change the base map interactively. I will show you some of the examples so later. So we're gonna go through, just tackle this first one, these 2 questions. Regarding the adding the drop-down list, for example, we have talked about this in the last lecture, right? How to add a drop-down list and then how to add the map. But we haven't talked about how to link the drop-down list to your map yet. We talked about how to use the zoom level, right? Remember the slider you change the map. But for the drop-down list, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's only a couple more lines of code, so it should be also pretty straightforward. Again, I'll post it on Canvas later today. You'll be due next Friday, so hopefully you have enough time to do it. Questions? Yes?
Can we talk about the final project today?
Yes, I was thinking about releasing the instruction next week, but it was pretty flexible, so there's no really any hard requirement. You build on top of what you have, and you just keep adding functionality. And so just think about if you want to introduce the package to someone, what kind of functionality do you have? What example do you have? And it was just a short final project presentation during the last week. So 2 to 3 weeks from today. And so it's very open. You can do whatever you want, and you can talk to me about your ideas. So eventually you're going to have a package, you have a website, you have notebooks, and then you have a short presentation introducing people to your package. That's it. So depends on complexity. If you want to have complicated stuff, you're welcome to. If you just want to have some simple, but it needs to be a little bit more than just the assignment, okay? And if you already have something in mind, talk to me. I can give you some advice, or if there's any specific functionality you want to have, think about it. So the basic example is just to look at leaf map. There are tons of examples in there. You're welcome to adopt some of those, but if you can come up with something like this, it'd be great. Then that means you really have made something that can be used by anyone. So you can also look at some of the notebook examples that I developed, like 74 so far, right? If you can implement like 2 to 3, something like this, great, okay? So just to showcase what kind of things you can do. You can also do GMap, but we didn't really introduce Google Ascending, so I don't really want to make it too complicated. You don't have to do, but if you want, there are also tons of examples. This one is even more, 133. So over 200 examples, right? If you can just have maybe a couple, 3 or 4, right? Just introducing the functionality of the package. Basically just the highlights. Like, what do you want for your package? How do you want to market to other people so that you convince other people to use your package, okay? So for your presentation is to convince your classmates to use your stuff. And if you can do that, perfect. If not, like this, just you will use it, okay? Personally, you have some functionality that you think you will be useful for your future project, okay? So it can be from very simple to complicated. It's up to you what you want to do, but it's very wide open. I don't really ask you, you need to do this, you need to do that. But certainly online, there are tons of examples. So as I said, we are building things just using the example from the implement, and we don't actually cover a whole lot of those. What we cover in class probably is only maybe 3 to 5% of the functionality. Maybe 2%, I would think. The code, the lines of code, and also notebook. So it's very, we only introduced a little bit, but you're welcome to look at, for example, how you construct the website, how you have organized the website, how you have the functionality, and how you actually also make your things reproducible. So some of these things are suggestions for the lab 7. I just graded, not lab 8, lab 7. So I give some of the comments, make sure you read the comments. I think one of the common issues that I found is some of you use a lot of like absolute file paths in your assignment, in your notebook. You should avoid it. So think about if you create something and then people are going to, for example, I think it's the X vector, for example, right? You are developing some functionality that allow users to actually, for example, add some GeoJSON substrate file. So in your source code, you should absolutely avoid using absolute file paths. For example, C / and then your name, your user, not good, okay? Because if you open in Google Colab, the file path is not there. If you try it on another computer, the file path is not there. So you should have something that runs across the platform. So how do you actually make sure? It's usually relative path because you have the file on your GitHub, and then so when the source code is run, it's going to execute that. But don't have absolute file paths in any of the future lab assignments. It's not going to work. Okay, it only works on your computer. Okay, and if you have a HTTP URL, it works everywhere, right? So you can have something like this. It's always going to work, like vector, line, polygon. You can have color. You can have all kind of stuff. So you're welcome to see the example and look at the source code, see how it was implemented. You can simply just search, for example, the API reference, and then you go to any module, for example, leaf map. On the right here, you should be able to see the source code, right? So if you add GeoJSON, add swap file, add marker, whatever. So let me see, maybe just add, for example, GTF, right? How to actually implement that. So you're welcome to use the source code, just adapt. This course is not about really memorizing stuff. It's more about how you learn and then adapt other code examples to integrate into example. If you can make it work, perfect, right? And again, just go through the example, see if there's anything you like. There are, let me see if we get something. But not all the examples you need to download to your computers, because some of those using Folium, it doesn't work very well. So it's not going to be perfect. But if you run it using IPyLib, it should work much better. Anyway, just look at the example and then see what you like. Questions? If not, let's get started with the what's the publishing the package on Conda-forge. So if you go to our website, I put some links in here. So this is what we're going to use here, and there are a couple of steps you need to do before you can publish that. Right now, if you're using PyPI, it's automatic, right? You just make a release on GitHub, and it's automatically published to PyPI. But for Conda, we need to actually create a pull request. I'm going to show you step by step. But first, open the first link. Go to the Conda-forge website, and this is kind of similar to the PyPI that you can source packages, but it's a little bit different. So once you open the website, click the packages. So the first step that you want to do is to search the name. So make sure that the name of your package doesn't show up in here. Most likely it will not, okay? But if you're choosing a name that's for the PyPI, if you already choose a name, most likely if it's already taken, here it might be already be taken. But you're welcome to search the name, see if they come up here. If not, then you're good to go, because each name is going to be unique, right? Pip install, then the name, and this one will be basically Conda install, and then the package name, and then -c Conda-forge, something like that. So right now, just search your name of your package, see if it show up. So for me, I would like be GOS demo. Okay, perfect. It's not there. That means it's not being taken yet. We can use the name. So I can also search, for example, leaf map. You see, it's already there. So that means you cannot use the name. Or if somebody already have that, it might be your package, or it might be their package. But if the name already exists, you need to choose a different name. So once you click, for example, then this is basically the basic web page, similar to your PyPI. So if I go to PyPI, right, leaf map, and if you click, so kind of a similar, but this is basically just a landing page, similar to your the page on your GitHub. But this one is kind of, you can think about, it's an app store, and just like iOS app store, right? You have all the packages, everyone can install. It has quality control, right? App store, not everyone can publish an app on the iOS app store, right? Only you need to go through a step to actually to do that. And this is the landing page, and you can see the instruction, how you can install the package, license, the documentation, how many downloads, when it was updated. You can also click the files menu, and here I'm going to show you each version and the file size. You can download it if you want, and also when it was uploaded, how many downloads, something like that, right? You can scroll down. So essentially, you want to publish something, you want to have a landing page like this for your package. And I want to let you know, your package might never be accepted, okay? So not every package get accepted. It takes a while. Usually it takes a couple of days, 1 to 2 weeks, and you need to fix all the errors. Sometimes you will run into errors, and if you don't fix it, your package might never get accepted. So that's why I want to cover this one first, because your package might not show up by the end of the semester. So sometimes it can be pretty quick, 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it can take 2 to 3 weeks, because there will be reviewer to review your package, okay? And they are all very busy. There are hundreds of packages waiting there for them to review. But it's doable. But just let you know, if it did not publish, that's fine. I'm not asking you that you need to have published, but I'm showing the step that to get there. Whether your package will be accepted or not, it's okay. Okay, as long as you have a PyPI already there, that's fine. Okay, so this is the first one to show you. Next one, this is where you want to get the step how we actually do that. So click the second one, is to stage recipes. Okay, so this is where actually you need to submit the pull request to, and you can think about this are all the robots. Okay, so when I submit the pull request and the human go to review, once it's accepted, then the robot kicks in, and then it's going to create the package for you. So everything is automatic. You don't need to manually to create a website. It's all automated. And what we need to do is to clone the repo, and then also create a recipe. So the recipe basically is just like a recipe to build your package. What kind of dependency in there, what's the name, what's the version, who maintain, we're going to show you later. But again, this is the repo, and this is essentially the steps to publish the package on Conda-forge. And we're going to go through the step by step. If you are Once you get familiar, you can publish a package. You can submit a pull request in less than 5 minutes. Okay, just like you create a package is pretty simple, but the time that it takes to be accepted, you have no control. Other people, the reviewer, the admin, they have control about how you publish. And I also show you some examples. I'm going to show you some example how you actually learn how you create a recipe. I will show you later. But for here, if you click the pull request, right now 465. That means there are 465 packages waiting to be reviewed and accepted. So it's a lot. And you might see like the red crosses. That means usually it's not good, but it's not. Sometimes it's fine, but usually you want to have the green check mark. So if you scroll down here, you want to have the green check mark. That means you pass all the checks. Just like you are pushing your package to GitHub, and then the GitHub Actions, right? You want to see the green check mark. If there's a red cross, usually there's something you might need to resolve, but it's not always the case. Sometimes it's okay. And if you want, you can go to the pull request and click the close. So if you see this one here, 21,280. So that means at least 21,000 packages have been accepted. So that's the last number. So certainly it's smaller than PyPI, but from here, if you go to the authors, usually if you have published any packages in there, you will see the name of the packages. And for example, you can search your name, or you can just search my name, for example, JSWQS. And then you just, and you can see some of the packages that I have submitted before, right? 38. So I've submitted over 38 packages published on PyPI. So you can take a look at, actually I just did one yesterday, a couple days ago. But leaf map, GMap, and there are tons of packages. It doesn't have to be your package. You can also submit a pull request. You can create a Conda-forge packages for other packages you see on the internet. So if you think that one is useful, you can also help to that. This is more like open source contribution. You don't necessarily have to be owner or the developer or the maintainer of the package. You can help others if you want to. So if you want, you can take a look at some of the examples. I can click here just to show you what's the content, what kind of things you need. Essentially, just adding one file, a new file to the repo. So if you click File, Change, you see it's basically just one file. So this is the so-called recipe, and I'm going to show you how you can create one automatically. You don't have to do it manually, so it should be pretty easy. But sometimes you might need to make some changes. So this is what that recipe is about, right? The name, the version, and then where is the file come from? Basically the zip file, the source code. And then how you're going to build that for different version, what kind of dependency in there, how you test it, and then you provide some of the documentation, basically metadata for your package. And pretty simple, so it's really easy. So next, let's really get started how you can actually do that, okay? So follow me if you want to. So click to the home repo, and then upper right here, click fork, okay? So you need to fork this one to your account, and you can select your name. You probably only have one, and then just keep. You don't need to change anything because I already forked that before, so it doesn't allow me. But you just click the fork and then just create fork. So just fork this one to your account, and then you're good to go. It might take some time because this is a huge repo, so it might take some time. And once it's done, it's automatically open under your account. So right now, if I go to my account, oops, is it done? You should see something like this: your GitHub username / stage recipes, and then you want to show you fork from questions.
Yeah, sorry. So you went on the fork and just clicked create new fork from that top?
Yes, yes. So only 2 buttons. You don't need to change anything. You can keep it as default. Is it working? Is it done? It might take a couple minutes. So let me know once it's done. And sometimes the package, because the package is being updated very frequently. Right now, you should probably see this one here. The branch is I don't know the message, but it should say that the branch is the same as the master branch or something like that. So if you are behind it, I can just click here, sync fork. Probably after a couple of days, you will see this one. You will be behind because you get a package is being accepted every day. So you want to keep your branch sync with the master, basically the upstream. I can just click update branch. You will see it's just one step. It's basically going to pull. Yeah, right now it's going to say the branch is updated with blah blah. Okay, then you're ready to go. Finish. Okay, next step, clone this one to your computer. So when I do that, just copy the green button, and then click this one, copy the URL, then open on your computer anywhere, and open your terminal. Just git clone. Okay, open a folder to where you like. Just git clone. We are going to clone this repo to our computer, so that later we can add something to it. Okay, so git clone. And then Control V, hit enter. It might take some time. It's locked over. You see this like 473,000 objects. So it's going to take some time. Depends on the internet. And why is that copying the repo? We're going to install a package that can help you create a recipe. The text file that I just showed you earlier. If you go back right now to our website here, it's the third one. So this is the package we're going to use. It's called Geospatial. I don't know why they choose this name, but if you click, it's a package on PyPI that you can install. Pretty easy to use. So just pip install. So what you need to do is to open your terminal or in a Conda prompt, and then just activate your environment. Then install the package. This package is going to help us create a recipe. So pip Conda activate GOS, and then just pip install Geospatial, and should be pretty quick. It's only take a couple seconds. Oh, that's really slow. Any of you finished cloning the repo? Yeah, I'm using the Wi-Fi, so it might be slow. If you're using the Ethernet cable, should be faster. Are you done with installing the package? Then I can just clear the environment. So next, depends on where you are your depends on where your file path is. I can for me, I would like to change the directory to the downloads directory so that I can create the recipe under the downloads directory here. Okay, even what you can cd to. And the next step you need to do is to create the recipe. Okay, and then we're going to put the recipe into the stateful recipe, and then we submit the pull request. So it should be pretty easy. And what you need to do, if you want, you can come back to the second link here, like show you the instruction, but it's just basically just one line of code. So it's going to show you how to create one here, like generate the recipe, Geospatial PyPI, and then the name of your package. That's it. So we're going to generate the recipe, Geospatial PyPI, and then the name. So again, open your Conda prompt. So here I'm just going to type Geospatial and then PYPI, then the name of your package, GOS demo. That's it. So make sure you install the package, and then change the directory to whatever you want to save the recipe. Then just Geospatial PyPI, the name of your package, and then it's going to do the work for you. So it's going to create a text file that we can use to put into the repo, and then we can submit the pull request. Usually it should be automatic unless you're seeing some error, unless you're having some complicated dependencies on your package. Otherwise it should be good. Okay, you see here, no, the color is really bad, but make sure that you don't, for example, don't see any error messages. And this one right now, it looks good, right? So I only have like Python one requirement. I don't really have any, actually have any dependencies. Missing packages. Looks like it's missing something. Let me come back to here. And then under your whatever directory, you should see this one, the name of your package. Oops. Oh, I think I have some problem. It's because I use the same name, so it's going to be, where is it? I'm not seeing it here. Oh, actually it's this one. Meta.yml is this one, but let me change to another directory so it's less confusing, because I already have the repo in here for my package, so it's going to put that one in there, so it's not good. So let me just change it to something else. Change to .cd, maybe documents. So in that way you see exactly, oh, cd ... and then cd documents. So my document folder should probably, oh, it has one here as well. Like this, not good. Let me delete this one. Yeah, make sure you don't have the same name, like within the folder, the directory don't have your package in there, because it's going to create a new folder. So that's why, like this, and then I can gray scout PyPI and then GOS demo. So it should create a new directory for the name of your package. Yes?
Mine created another one with the same name, but it worked. Is that a problem?
What do you mean create the same name?
Like I have 2 map labs.
Yeah, I know. Can you have 2 folders with the same name under this?
It worked for mine.
You really have 2 folders with the same name?
Yeah.
1 second. So right now you see this one is here. It should only have a folder and then just one file in there. They made a YAML, so you should only have one file within there. If you want, you can double click it to you can open it.
It went within my other folder. Is that a problem?
Just take it out. So you don't you basically as long as you can see the file that has only one file, meta.yml. So this is the only file that you need. And you will see here, this is actually what the package, the recipe. I think it's missing something because I have the requirement.txt. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Let me double check here. GOS. Sometimes it's not perfect, so it's only just generate a recipe for you. And if it is not the perfect one, then you will need to actually modify that. So requirements.txt. Yeah, I already have something here. It's not. It should be automatic. So for you guys, do you see anything under your run under here? Do you see any packages listed under this section besides the Python? Do you have something else?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure why mine is not. It's not supposed to be. GOS demo. Oh, I think I know the problem, because for the version, I didn't release the new version to PyPI, and that's why it's not showing up. So if I go to my PyPI, it's only 0.01, because those dependency, you see, this is the initial one that I created, and the package is the dependencies are not there. So if I download this one, again, forget about this. I'm just going to try to fix the problem so that it will show up there. So right now, if I open my library, look at this one, you see the requirement.txt is empty, and that's why it doesn't show up there. That's my problem. So let me quickly do this. Let me create a release, and so I'm going to, anyway. So for your package, you should see whatever version right now for the package release on PyPI, and you should have a number of dependencies listed under here. So that's basically what you need to do. And let me quickly fix my repository. So I'm going to create a new version. So this is usually what you need to do when you create a new release. So I'm going to go to my downloads directory, and then let me clear and check this. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you like how I fixed the issue for my recipe. So here I'm just going to bump version, and I'm going to bump my minor, so it becomes 0.1. Should be pretty quick. And then git push text Okay, and then git push. So now my GitHub repo should have updated, and I have 2 tags. So I can create a new release. Okay, 0.1 and create a new release. v01.1, and then I think prepare for Conda-forge. Okay, and just create. So then this one should be updated on PyPI. Then if I create the recipe again, it should list all the dependencies that I added. Okay, so it might take a couple seconds. So once this one is up there, we are good to go. So for you guys, make sure you inspect the recipe and make sure there's no errors coming up. You should have all the green packages in there. If you are adding any packages that are available on PyPI but not available on Conda-forge, you're not going to do that. So all the dependencies that you add there, it must be already published on Conda-forge. So if you search the Conda-forge website, if it is not there, you cannot add your package. So basically all your dependencies need to exist first before you can add yours. If you really want to, then you need to help other people to get the package published first before you can do publish yours. Okay, so looks like it's done. Now I can try to create the recipe again. So let me delete this one. It might sometimes take a couple minutes to update it. I'm not sure if it is available yet. So let me try it again. Grayscale, and this time it should be version 0.1 rather than 0.01. Let me see if it is there. And hopefully it will be fixed automatically. You want to make sure all the dependencies are listed, otherwise your package will fail to build. Okay, looks like that. You see, checking GeoPandas HTTPS, that means it's working properly. See, it's coming up because just release a new version, include all the dependencies. It should be good now. And if I click this one, see here, open it, Visual Studio Code. Perfect. You see, it's fixed. So now we are ready to go. Yes?
So if that meta.yml went into our original package folder, we need to take it out and put it
Yeah, you don't put it in your package repo. It has, this one is not a component of your package repo. It's the component that we're going to submit to the stage recipes. So take it out, don't push it to your GitHub account. You don't need it. So once you have this, now we are ready. Okay, so what you need to do is just simply copy this entire folder, basically the name of your folder, and with the YML inside, copy this one, and then go to the folder wherever you clone this stage recipe. Then go to recipes, paste in here, and then we're going to push the submit pull request. Okay, so copy the folder of your package name with text meta.yml, and then put it under the stage recipes. Don't put it anywhere else. Okay, just under this one. Don't make changes to any other stuff, otherwise it's not going to work. Are we ready? Yes? Okay, and then next step, go to the home directory of the stage recipe, then open using Visual Studio Code. So view more options, open using Visual Studio Code. So we're going to create a new branch, and then we're going to push that. Okay, you're certainly welcome to just push that to your account, account, but don't do that. Okay, so once it's open, let me take a look at this one here. It's going to show you that you have a new file, meta.yml, right? Look at this one. So this should be the only file that we have added to here. And so the next step is to create a new branch so that we can submit the pull request. Lower left corner here, look at the plus sign, zero, whatever, open the terminal. So we're going to use the terminal here. If the terminal doesn't work for you, you can use what the same. Oops. Can you open this one? Does it work from here? Yes.
Are we copying the meta YAML or the directory with the meta in it.
The directory. So if you see here,
It says that I have a new directory with the meta inside of it.
here,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same. So here only shows up, but so you should see this one. If you,
Oh, okay, got it.
yeah. So once you have here, open the terminal and then see if you can use git here. Just type, oops. If git doesn't work, then you can use your Anaconda prompt. Either one is fine. If you type git, can you see anything here, or do you see any error? Is it working fine? So just type git. Oops. If you see the help documentation, you're good. If it doesn't, just use your Anaconda prompt or your git base, whatever. So once we're here, we are going to create a new branch. So basically, you can think about we are copying this one from the upstream, and we're trying to modify something. Usually it's better to create a new branch and then push it to it, because later you can sync your master with the upstream. Otherwise, once you change your main, it's going to sometimes mess up. So it's better to just create a copy, and then we do whatever we want, and then send to the upstream. And then once it is accepted, you pull the update to your account, so that it's always the main branch is always sync with the upstream. So you don't want to mess up with the main. And what you can create here, you just type git branch, and then this sorry, git checkout dash b and then you can use whatever name. Okay, git checkout dash b and then the name of the branch. So usually I would just use the name for my package, but you can use whatever name you like. It's descriptive. So I'm going to use GOS demo, whatever name you like. Okay, then just hit enter. So here it should say switch to a new branch, blah blah. Okay, good. And then click here, just commit the changes to your repo. So you can just do, okay, add GOS demo package, whatever message you like. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna add this package, then just control enter. It should commit this one, and see the button publish branch. Okay, so this one is going to basically publish to your GitHub account, not to the upstream yet. So just click publish, and then on the pop-up you're going to select the origin. Don't use the upstream, just select the origin. Are you with me? Anyone? Yes? It didn't show up? Yeah. Oh, okay. Then probably you already different settings. So once it's done, then you can go to your, you're going to show up here like create a pull request. Don't do that yet. You can go to your website. So I'm going to go to my branches and then go to open the on GitHub. Okay, so you should see this one pop up, and you should see a yellow bar here, and it's going to show you this branch is one commit ahead of Conda-forge main. Okay, so that means it's good. Right now we have this one ready, so click the compare and pull request. So click this button, and so this is exactly what we're going to submit to the Conda-forge stage recipes. So you should only have one file. It's going to show you blah blah blah. This is the same file, the YAML file that we just added. And then here, this is where you exactly how you submit a pull request to that, so that people can review and accept. Since we have so many people here, the repo is gonna get a swarm of new pull requests. So that's why sometimes it's gonna take a couple weeks for them to review and accept it. But this is exactly what you need to do. So again, should be pretty simple, straightforward. You just you can read the instruction if you want, but you can simply just create a pull request. So first, make sure this is descriptive. Okay, usually add the name of the package, add something package, something like that. Add whatever name of your package, and then so make sure you have this one is descriptive. Otherwise, it's never going to be reviewed. Okay, Don't just type something random there. It needs to be meaningful. Okay, add blah 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 your package. So I'm just going to say add GOS demo package and then just create pull request. The Conda-forge maintainer might be surprised, like why all of a sudden, like within a couple minutes, there's so many in here. They might think people trying to spam the stuff. But here you go, it's done. And the next step is this to see here is going to build your repo. So it might fail. If it is failing, then you have to fix the problem. So the reason that it might fail is sometimes you are adding something, a lot of complicated packages, it's not being there available or something. So you want to wait for this one. It might take up to maybe 10-15 minutes. Then if it's green check mark, you are good to go. So here, right now it's really still checking. So at least you want to see this green check mark for the linter. That means if there's any syntax error or something. If this one is the red cross, your package will never be accepted. So at least you see this green one, right? And then it's looking at. So you're going to see here, it's going to check your package on multiple platforms, Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So if there's any package, any dependency of your package that is not available somewhere else for a specific platform, then you probably need to be careful about that. You're welcome to click to see the details, and click here, more details and Azure pipelines. If you click, you can see how it's actually running. So it's quite complicated. You don't have to worry about that. Should be pretty automatic. And next, come back to the conversation here. You want to make sure that you check all the boxes. So title of this PR is meaningful, blah blah. Okay, yes, it's meaningful. License is package. See here example. So usually the license is already packaged in your PyPI. It's actually automated. So if you're using my template to create a package, it should be automated. So the reason for that, so here, right, if you go to my the PyPI repo here, and so this is where actually the Conda-forge is pulling the package. It's downloading this one and trying to install and test the environment. So if you want, you can download this one to a local computer. You can take a look at what's inside. So if I double click and then see the file, you actually have a license file in there. So it's already packaged inside your package. Yes?
Why would my staged recipes folder be empty?
Staged force recipe empty? What do you mean?
Like there's nothing in it.
So here, there's nothing in there?
There's just the .git.
Oh, you need to clone the repo. Is it finished cloning the environment?
I think so. So I just try to redo that.
Yeah, just git clone and then do the same thing. It might be it's not finished yet. If you close the window, sometimes it's not finished yet, so it might not be there. So just git clone and make sure that it's there. Okay, so again, let me come back to this one here. License file is packaged. Source is from the official source, right? So it's from the official source. Package does not vendor other packages. Yeah, it does not vendor. State library is not static. Build number, table. Pretty much you can just check all the boxes. Usually, if the first time, it's not should be complicated. That means you check all the boxes and then just waiting for this one to turn green. Then you are good to go. Basically you have finished your submission. And when it's going to accept it, you have no control. You can certainly leave a comment once it says it's passed all the green. You have passed all the checks. Then you can leave a comment saying that okay, the recipe is ready for review, something like that. So I can quickly show you, for example, in the past how I did it, right? So if I go to stage recipe, pull request, close, and then you can see how I did that, right? And then from here, under my name, so you can see, for example, add. Let's say I add a package and auto check mark, right? And at the end, because this is already finished, so you don't see the green check mark. But once it's finished, I just leave a comment. Okay, Conda-forge help Python. The recipe has passed all the checks and it's ready for review. Then it's done. So if they accept it, then your package will appear on Conda-forge within a couple minutes. If it is not accepted, you might ask you to revise, or they might take forever to review it. So that's not really something you can do, but hopefully in a week or two you'll be accepted and your package appear perfect. But if it's not, that's fine. I don't ask it in the lab assignment or in the exam, but at least you need to submit a pull request showing that you are contributing to. And let me take a look, see how many pull requests in here. Okay, spatial CSV, bus map, only I think 3. So you see here, if you see the green red cross, then you have to fix that the linter showing you that I'm trying to look for recipe to link for it, but couldn't find any. Let me see here. Yeah, this is not I don't think you are submitting the correct way. Submodule CSV edit. So make sure that it's only you are only adding a YAML file. If it's not there, your package is not the right one. So it should show up something like mine here. And yeah, bus map. Let me take a look. Right, looks good. So you have a one file with green color in here. That means it's good to go. So use this is fine. Anyone else? Only 3. Again, look at the file chains. If it's not this one, then it's wrong. Yes.
I got lost.
Huh? Pull request. So basically, under your account, let me go back to here. So if you go back to your account, you should have the stage recipe account, right? Under your account. And right, because I already submitted the pull request, you should see a green button some here. The yellow one saying compare and pull request. Yes or no? Do you push the commit the changes to your repo? So over here, select this one. Under main, do you see your branch here? Just click the branch, whatever name of your branch, and then it should show up like the yellow bar, say compare and submit pull request. Yes or no? So when you click this one, it's going to show you this branch is one commit ahead. Yes? Do you see any green button somewhere up there? No? Oh, here, click the contribute. There's a contribute button somewhere here. Either way should work. Okay, so if it doesn't show automatically, then just click contribute, and there should be one for you to create a pull request. See the button? And once it's open, it should show you like what files has been changed, and then because I already submitted, it's going to be just in here. Okay, looks good. You see about able to move. Let me come back to the recipe. And oh, it's still building, so it's not working yet. Anyway, so this is pretty much the step that you need to do. Clone the repo, and then use Grayscale to generate the recipe, and then copy the folder of your package with the recipe into the stage recipe folder, and then submit a pull request, and that's it. Yes?
When we did the Grayscale part, am I doing that to my folder that I just got?
No, it can be anywhere. Don't put it in your if you want, you can go to the stage recipe and then come here and then right click, open the terminal, and then Grayscale. So basically what you need to do is have your package folder name here, and then the meta to YML. So this is what it's going to put. But the Grayscale, you can Grayscale anywhere, but you just copy the result to here. So this is basically the file you need to put under this recipes folder. If it is not there, then you are doing it incorrectly. Okay? Anyone else? Okay, cool. We have another one here. watermark, and let me take a look. 5 chains. Yeah, you're good. So this is what we need. This recipe is not like super complicated. If you do it very quickly, it's only take you 5 minutes to submit. So use the Grayscale to create the recipe, clone the stage recipe for the repo, create a new branch, and then paste the recipe in, submit a pull request, done. And then once it's passed all the checks, then you can leave a comment. It's still building. So what you can do here, if you go to your repo here and then right click these 3 dots in here, it's going to say edit. And from there, since you are the first time, so if you are the first time, I think you will need to add somebody. So usually, I'll just come back to here, copy this one. Do you see this one under your? If you edited it here, edit. Do you see this one under your pull request? If it's yes, you can just copy this one. So for me, I would say copy and then cancel. So once you pass all the checks, okay, you see Linux 64 already passed. Then I'm just going to Control V here. Okay, so this is basically telling the maintainer saying that my recipe is ready for review. Thank you. And it's going to add a tag right now. If you go to the pull request, you will see here it's all building, but you're pretty quick. So if you click in, the recipe is passed all checks in review. Okay. You don't do this one. Don't write the part of the class assignment. Yeah, they're going to blame me like spam them. So just yeah, you can edit it, you can delete it. So just say the recipe is passed all checks and is ready for review. But actually, don't do that too fast yet. It's still checking, so you need to see all the check marks before you leave the comments. Okay. I don't want them to know that it's all coming from this class. So it's from like everywhere. Okay, so wait for all the green check marks and then leave the comments, and you will automatically add this one, Python request review requested. Okay, so that means you're ready to go. So this should be pretty straightforward. Usually, sometimes they ask you to make changes. Then you need to go back to your your repo to make changes, and then it should automatically be updated to the repo.
So after you fix your problem, do you have to do a new pull request?
No. It's automatic. So,
okay.
For example, if you fix that, let me see here. Is it fixed? Yeah, it's fixed. So it's automatic. So you don't need to do anything. If something wrong, yeah, you see here the commit will automatically be linked from your account. So it's pretty straightforward. So you see here, add this one, and cool. See. So this is the step. So you can add as many packages you like, but for now, this is basically the first step. And I add my first package, I think a couple years ago, maybe 5 years ago. So you can go to authors and click this one. You go to the next page. I believe it's in 2018. Okay, almost 5 years ago. So this is my first package published on there, and then I published a couple more. In 2020, and then every year like I get something out there, so you can click here. In the past it was a little bit different, but now it's easier. Yes.
Sorry, I got kind of behind.
So
I put my meta YAML into my recipes. Do I change something on that or no?
So under your folder you should have a name of your package.
Yes.
And then the meta.yml, that's it. And then create a new branch, git checkout -b, the name of your package, and then commit the changes. So here, let me show you the steps in here. So look at this one here, git checkout. So basically you're creating a new branch, and then -b, whatever name for your package, and then just commit the changes and then push it. If you have any issues, talk to me after class, I can show you. Should be done in 3 minutes. Okay, so it's not something complicated. It's very slow because I'm trying to explain the steps, but it should be pretty straightforward. So again, just take a look at the status. Okay, it fails again. I'm sorry, but you need to look at the error just to see what's the problem. It might be that some of the dependencies. Please do not delete. Yeah, you don't delete stuff. Okay, don't delete the folder. It's actually causing trouble. So just put that one back. Otherwise, because the examples folder is just to show people what you can change this, and don't delete it. Or you can just if it is already deleted, if it's gone, you can download the example from the repo again and then just put it back. Okay. Or you can revert it using Git if you know how to use it. But okay, so that's pretty much okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. Okay. Try to do that. It should not take very long. And if you have any issues, look at that and you see, pretty much. I'm sorry, the windows are the last one, but it's nice to see all the green check marks that we are ready to go. Okay, so that's pretty much about publishing the package on Conda-forge. Again, for the Lab 9 assignment, you need to submit the link to your pull request so I can take a look that it passed all the checks, then you're good to go. And the next one is about adding some interactive components. So I'm going to quickly cover that here. If you want to take a look at the example, you can go to the GOS demo example here and examples, IPy widget events. So this is essentially how you add something to your map that can have some actions. We're going to cover like 2 methods very quickly, how you can actually when people click, for example, drop down this and then you will execute something, then you can make changes to the map. Yes?
Sorry, one last question. Do I go origin or upstream?
Origin. So this is a notebook I'm going to use here. It's called IPy events. Again, let me quickly show you what does this one do. So here, how about this one? Okay. So we have covered the widget, right? We can create a button and then you can have a description. We can also have a button style. And this is essentially where you create a function to link together, right? This one we already covered that. So we have a button, we have an output widget, and this is where you link the action. So basically, each IPy widget has some events. So basically, it's called eventful. That means it can respond to what you do. So you can click the button, you can click the drop down list, you can return the result. So you can actually do something. So this is behind the scene how you link those widgets to your map. And so for example, if I click here, look at this. You see that? So what this one is doing, basically I define a function called onButtonClick, and then you just put whatever. This one doesn't really matter. And then so within there, whenever you click, I'm going to print out something, say the button is clicked. Okay, and so you want to link this function to your button. So again, this is the first one. You create a button, and then the button is going to have a function called onClick. OnClick means when I click this button, it's going to execute this function. So this function is actually here. So when you click this function, execute this function, it's going to print out a button in there. So and then I'm going to display this one, right? If I run this one again, then double check here, and just click, right? Or I can actually add something else. I can have here, I say here, count. Okay, just show you like what you can do. So count equal to 0, right? And then every time if I click, I can actually increase that if I want to. So here I can have F, and then inside here, button click how many times. For example, I say times, and then I can here have count. You need to have curly brackets, and then count plus. So see what is happening, right? We create a button, we create an output that we can print something, and then usually if you don't have anything here, this is basically the link, then you can just display this one. So what this one is doing is, okay, when I click the button, I want to print out something. So when you print out something, say button click. So the count first time is 0. So plus means equal to count plus 1. So basically becomes 1, and then next time becomes 2, 3, 4. So let's see what happened, right? Oops. F string invalid syntax. Oh, it doesn't assign the plus. That's fine. I can just do here. Oops. If it doesn't allow that, I can say count equal to count plus 1. It should work now. So here, click. Oops. I see. So it doesn't allow you to, because it's a function, doesn't allow you to use that outside. Anyway, that's fine. I can do that using another variable, but it gets a little bit more complicated. So let's skip this one for now. You button click. Okay, so very simple. So button is the only one using the so-called dot click. So let me show you here at another code block. So button dot. So if you just hit dot, it's going to show you all the functions available for that widget. It's pretty much the same for all the iPad widget. It doesn't matter if it's a button, drop down list, or anything. But the button has a special one. It's called on click. So this one here called on click. There's also an observe button, but that's for other widgets. So button dot click something. Essentially, whatever interactive component you add to the map, you want the widget to do something. Okay, whether it's changing the slider, select the drop down list, or you click on something, you want to do something. So what you want the program to do, you need to define it, right? So you're gonna have a function something like this. This is for the button. And next, I'm gonna show you the other one. It's called observe. Okay, so this is all the documentation. It's a bit complicated, but let's just see the example in action. Okay, so this example, we have 3 toggle buttons. We also have an image. So just look at the source code quickly, right? Buttons, this is toggle button. So the button by default, it doesn't select anything. So we're gonna have 3 buttons: the scroll, high, and close. The button style use primary. If you don't use the button style by default, it's just gray color. Okay. And then, so the button style, the width equal to 80 pixels. You can change that if you want. Next, we're gonna create the HTML widget, right? We already covered this one. You can have any images in there. So this is just a Google Ads Engine logo, width and height. Then we use the vertical box. Okay, so the vertical box basically you have 2 rows. The first row just the 3 buttons. The second row just the HTML, and then you just display the widget, right? Pretty much. Right now it doesn't do anything yet. When I click, it doesn't respond yet. So the reason for that is that for every widget, you need to define what you want to do when the button is clicked. Okay, so this is where the observe function comes in. So the buttons, so again, think about the logic here. We have all the buttons. So when the button is clicked, I want to do something. In that way, you need to have the observe function. So the button to observe, and then this is where the functions need to be. So you need to have the function, and then it's going to say the value. So that means when the value is changed, I want to execute this function. So this function is executed from here, right? And the function is going to have the argument called change. You're going to look at the help documentation in here. It's kind of a little bit confusing, but you just follow the example. Just put the change in here. You see here, right? Usually handle the change, and then it's going to type owner, old, new, the name, something like that. So usually what you want to do is the name. So essentially what it's doing is, like when you click something, you click a button. If you click the next one, it's going to know what's the previous button, what's the new button. So we are only care about the new button. We don't care about the previous one. So here, right? Let's say we have these 3 buttons in here. When I'm clicking this one, I only care about what you click. I don't care about what's the previous one. Make sense? So for example, here I click the show. I don't care like what's the previous one, because when I click this one, I want to know that the user actually clicked this show button, and then I want to do something. So here is the change the new. So you only sometimes if you want to know the previous one, you can like change old is to the previous one. Just look at the documentation here, right? So we only care about new value. So this is basically what it's doing is that we have these 3 buttons. If the user click the show button, I want to have the VBox, the show button, the children to both the button and the HTML. If the user click the hide, I want to change the vertical box to just the buttons. That means that we essentially hide the image. And then if they says to close, I'm going to close all the buttons, close the HTML, also close the virtual box. That's it. Make sense? So if I click this button, I do this one, I click this button, I do this one, I click this button, I do this one. So we have 3 buttons. So once you execute this one, you see nothing changed yet. But if you come back to here, click show, it's already there. High, show, high, show, right? Yes. And then if I click close, it's gone. Because I close all the buttons, right? So the button can be closed. So all the widgets are interactive. You close it, it's gone forever. But essentially, we create a widget, the layout first, what we want the widget to look like, and then you define what you want to do with the widget. So everything is defined under this so-called observe function. So the observe function has 2 arguments. The first one is the name of the function. So no parentheses, basically the name of the function. And then the second one is what you want to do. So basically when the value changes, I want to do something. I want to call this function. So here, if change new equal to show, I'm going to chosen. So basically here, the vertical box, the chosen equal to 2 components. If it's high, I'm going to hide the HTML. So basically remove the HTML. If it's closed, I'm going to close it. Again, look at this one. Nice. High, show, oops, it doesn't execute yet. High, show, close, right? Pretty much that's it. And then if you really want that, right, you can certainly add this one to your package. So you'll be, for example, I can add this one. I will just say import GOS demo, okay, and then m equal to maybe I use IPy leaflet quickly. So just like what we did in the past, IPy leaflet, okay, and then just going to create a map equal to IPy leaflet dot map, okay. So center equal to whatever 40 negative 100, and then zoom level equal to 4, okay, and then display the map, okay. So I can actually add those widgets that I just created into the map, and then it become interactive. So still remember, you need to create the IPy widget control first. So I'm going to say control equal to IPy widget dot widget control, okay. So then the widget is going to be this widget. So the widget is going to be this entire one. So the widget actually is the vertical box, the entire one. So if you come back to here and then just equal to VBox, okay, then the position equal to maybe bottom right, and then execute, then just m dot add, you just add control. See that? Now it's coming here on your map, right? So whatever you use, you develop, it will come in here. Now take a look. So oops, did I execute that one? Yeah, so high, so let me run this one again. It doesn't work. Let me don't display this one. Sometimes you have too many things in here, it doesn't activate. Run this one, and then add a control, method control. Yeah, it's a bit slow, but it's work, right? I can hide, I can show. It might take a couple seconds, but usually it should be instant. I'm not sure why it's not. You see, and then if you close it, it should be closed. The entire button should be closed. So this is how you design those interactive widgets, and then you can add it to the map so that you can use it and interact. So for the lab 8, I'm asking, like, can you develop a drop down list and then add it to the map component? So when user select whatever base map, it will show up the base map, and then you can make the changes. So you're welcome to look at the source code of the leaf map. So beside the drop down list, right, can you have the drop down list? For example, user can select location, select whatever base map, and then you just hit apply. Then you will execute something. Again, it's all about the observe function. So whatever drop down list or checkbox or whatever, observe, and then with that you can do something, and this is where the function is going to look like. So if I click something, for example here, if you apply, So look at this one. And then if I hit apply, see, select the satellite, and then if I select something, you can see here, it's changed interactively. So this is how you can design the function. Again, it might take some time for you to get used to it, but it's actually pretty simple. So for button, it's called on-click. Everything else is called observe. So observe a drop-down list, observe a slider, observe anything. So whatever the name of your widget, dot observe, and then the function, and then usually just double quotes value. So whenever it's changed, I'm going to execute this function. So you design the function what you want to do, right? So if you design a drop-down list, allow the user to select to make changes, then you just, when you select this one, hit apply, or you select that, then it's going to execute the changes. So it will be something like this one here. Oops. So look, I think it's, yeah, something like this. Look at this, right? I click the button, and it could pop up something, and it can do something. It can be base map, it can be pretty much anything. So if I go back to the leaf map website here, if you scroll down to the bottom here, right, just like this one, I click the button, and then you can select drop down the list. Drop down list, I can select all kind of base map if you want. We haven't covered this how to have the open file dialog box yet, but at least for the base map, it's just basically a drop down list, and then you have a couple items here, for example, satellite base map, OpenStreetMap, or whatever. So whenever user select that one, you can add that base map to your map. We have already covered this in the previous lecture, right? You know how to add a base map. You already have the base map functions. So what you essentially need to do is to design the widget drop down list, and then provide those options, and then you define a function called, for example, design the change base map, and within there, depends on the value, you map.add base map, map.add base map, right? And then you should become interactive. If you have any questions, talk to me or send to the group. We'll be able to help you out. But that's pretty much about lab 9. Is publishing the package and then add some functionality to your map that at least you can have some interactivity with the map. Okay, so that's all for today. I will see you next week.